Boy, it don't roll amazing. It does not roll.
Back it down.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right, so we made it to the dyno with my buddy Don's car. So I get to talk about whatever I want to today, okay? I get to say whatever I want because Don and I are just doing this for fun. And we're gonna let you guys know what goes on. So first off, he's got to put on match set of rear tires, staggered perfect for the dyno. And I gotta change a bunch of stuff. Hey, thanks for watching Team Ez TV. Down here at the dyno again, but this is good. This is good because we're gonna go race this thing this weekend. We need to make sure this thing rips. It's a brand new motor, but it's not like a brand new $75,000 motor. This is a brand new motor done like on a budget. So we're gonna talk about that, how much Don has into this motor. We're gonna see how much power it makes for how much he has invested into it compared to, you know, a $72,000 motor. Oh, look at those nice valve covers. Got a set of one-way cylinder heads, brand new top end for this thing, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not. RPM. So he's pulling the bypasses just to check everything before we even start. We also potentially need to check the timing. The thing's been on the engine dyno. They dynoed it over at like Gressman's or something. And it looks like it's spot on the timing mark already. We also have our engine heater on it. This thing has this little deal here, heats up. It's a plug-in unit you can just keep on the car. So it adds a little bit of weight, but that's not too big of a deal when you're making 900 horsepower. All right, so they kind of get the thing rolling so it centers itself, and then they pull the thing down. So we're getting the thing all centered up, but we're gonna go in the office and ask Tally a couple questions. Tally's the one that you would talk to if you called down here to try to set up an appointment. And I figured I'd go ask her what it costs to dyno your car, if you had a micro, a midget, a sprint car. You want in the camera too, huh? Yeah, you do. Okay, so you guys got a new website going here. What does it cost to come down here and dyno?
So it costs for a micro or a mini sprint, it's $600 per session per car. Okay. And then as far as like a sprint car or a midget, those are $750 per car per motor combination.
Back in the dub zero. Oh, there's no zeros. What happened? What happened, Don? Where are the zeros? We about ready to go? About ready to start her up. Oh yeah, get rid of the fisheye. That's a much better shot there. Having your camera set to the right settings is so crucial. I'm on a GoPro Hero 12 right now. He's in! He's in! Alright, so the thing's all warmed up. Sam just got in the car. We're gonna get it started, check the timing, get some heat in it, make sure the thing sounds right, and then we'll start making pulls. We gotta make sure the thing is 180 degrees before we even start making pulls, so we'll get it up to temp by just starting it now, running it. So we tried to start it and it wouldn't start, shooting flames. We got it on TDC, 28 degrees, and it looks like the mag is 180 degrees out. So the thing was fresh off the dyno. That shouldn't be like that, which makes me wonder if it's fresh off the dyno. It's about to be fresh off the dyno down here at Tim Engler's. All right, so it in fact was 180 degree out. It was pointed this way. Now it's pointed that way. We should be in time. And there's a lot of moving parts here, but look at those ports. Done. We got it in time, we got the fuel check, the air check, we got it heat in it, we got all the things we needed to do beforehand. Took about an hour, if not a little bit more, but typically they're in time right away. They weren't this time, so we're gonna make our first pull now. Sure what's going on here. So Don had built this motor this year, and they said they took it to the dyno, took it to Gressman's. It made 850 horsepower on their dyno. So we get it here and it won't even run. The mag's 180 degrees out. The thing makes 500 foot-pounds of torque, which is about 200 foot-pounds of torque off. Like, the thing is not running at all. This thing couldn't run any worse. Thank goodness I'm here with Tim, because at least he can help me figure it out, and we can, if we would have taken this thing to the track, we would have just wasted a night. Should do it in a minute and a half. So we're just checking the flow of our filter and our tank and our line, because if it can't get enough fuel to the pump, it isn't happy. So this is not ideal. Typically when you get your car to the dyno, it is prepared and ready to go. Don has been working really hard to get this thing ready and prepared to go, but he just put a motor in fresh off the dyno and it doesn't run. So it leads me to think it isn't fresh off the dyno. And if it was fresh off the dyno, it wasn't gonna get to the track and actually rip, because it won't run on the dyno. So I feel terrible, but that's why you bring it to Tim. Tim has worked on these things for 40 years, and you know, so he's going through the things that could be wrong with it, and we're just inspecting everything, because you know, it's 200, 300 horsepower off right now. So oh, I hate this because it's finally hot today. So it's hot out there and we're working our butts off, and you know, if this thing went on the dyno and just like boom, pulled some numbers, we tuned it, made it better, we would have an early day. But it's looking like it's going to be a long day because our stuff's not prepared and it's not running right. Time it again? Yeah. All right, so Sam found our problem. This was backwards and that leaned out the whole system. So it has an arrow on it. That helps you put it in the right direction.
Let's go right back here to torque. Let's just lean it to a 70. Let's see if it picks up.
Well, that was it. The stumble valve was in backwards, and because it was in backwards, it was returning fuel to the fuel tank and not in the motor, and so it was leaning the thing out. First pull, it just made 775 horsepower or something. So I think he changed the pill. We're gonna go again. All right, so he leaned it out 2000. It picked up, I don't know, 10 horsepower there. Different stacks. And so down here, Tim has all kinds of different length stacks. So we have 3 1/4 inch stacks on it. We're gonna put 3 3/4 inch stacks. Don brought some of those. Those were not the right stack. The different stack length kind of tunes your motor.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the goodie drawer here. So, said it needs some bullet tips. Those are 435s.
I got 590 bullets, but we used them last night. In here. I don't know where they got put. We'll see if I got any 620 bullets somewhere. There's one. They will definitely work. There's 650.
Which is better, actually.
It's better through here. It's kind of, see, it kind of moves the graph to the left, putting a longer stack in it.
Yeah.
It looks like it even helped the top, which it's going to make more power once I run it on up to 7,500. See, it made right at 800 there.
Okay.
We'll see. This is probably high speed here. We'll fix this.
Clean that up.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're going to go back now to a 70. We're going to get the rest of these out of there. And we're going to go back to torque. And we're going to put a 70 back in on these stacks. And we're going to see if it gets any better right in there.
Okay.
Okay.
One thing at a time. We went from 3 1/4 stacks to 3 3/4 stacks, and that moved. We actually made a little bit more power, right at 800 horse to the rear tires, and we still have room to clean the top end up. It has screen nozzles in the motor, and the screen nozzles have exactly that. They have screens in the bottom of it where the bullet tip is like just the end of a pin. It just.
So
We're leaning the thing out with the short stacks, and now that he put the long stacks in it, he's seeing that it needs more fuel, so we're going back to Rich.
on fuel, so that he has a tune-up
With these nozzles,
with these
yeah.
nozzles.
Which is, honestly, I'd much rather drive the car with screens and bullets. It runs better with bullets, but it doesn't race well.
Right. If you got a good track, it'll qualify better with bullets.
Yep.
And then most of your outlaw guys will take them out after the track starts to slow down.
Yeah. I'm gonna put some headphones on.
Right. I think there's something right hanging over here.
spend a lot of time down here listening to what he does and the procedures he uses to make changes, okay? And he really reads this, okay? So he's trying to clean up this area, and we think it wants more fuel, so he's gonna give us more high speed pressure, which is gonna give us fuel up here, okay? So that's what we're doing now, adding some pressure on the high speed to try to tune the top end up. Ultimately, we're gonna end up putting some bullet tips in it, and it's gonna probably pick up 10 horsepower, but we're tuning it on these for now, and then we'll put the bullets in it. It should make more power when we do that. But man, the bullets just do not drive well. Like when you roll in, it's like as you're rolling in with the screens, it's like, well, with the bullets, it's like, it doesn't matter where you go. It just like, as you start feeding it, it just goes. And it's very interesting. As soon as, even when I went to Australia, you know, the thing, I couldn't drive the thing the first night. And by the end of the night, you know, somebody mentioned like, oh yeah, we got screens, we got bullets in it. And I was like, oh, that's the problem. That's the problem. Boom, we put screens in it, and it atomizes the fuel that much better and just allows your foot to be more one-to-one than the bullets. The bullets are just pouring the fuel in there. As soon as it gets enough air, it just is like, and goes.
Here, but it definitely helped it right there. See, that's 10 horse there, and then on out here, it's a lot more.
Yeah.
He right left
So
right there.
it definitely liked the fuel on the
Like
top
the
end.
fuel on the top, yes sir. And then, now then, we'll go back here and we'll look at our peak torque, and we'll see if we're as good as we've been. As we're reaching the main, it hurt it just a little bit right there, but that's probably just a little bit of a, could be the tires, could be temperature.
Yeah.
But we know it'd be safer.
Yeah.
And it didn't hurt it any down here on the bottom.
Yep.
See, it's actually back to where back to where the bright blue one was, right in here. So you can see it's right there. So it's trying to follow the path. So we'll get rid of the red one, and we'll make the last one red so we can see it just a little better. Now then, it didn't make the top number right there, but like I said, it's still a little safer. And now then you put it here, and you see the blue one I hadn't run it on out there, that previous one we did, and it definitely is better there.
Yeah.
So, and that previous one was the green one, and it should have been better because it was a 68, but it didn't make enough difference. So, let's keep just the last one.
So you're gonna bump the high speed up 3 more pounds?
I'm going to go another half turn and just see whether it hurts it here or if it helps it any more here.
Yep.
Then we'll kind of get that tune up, and then we're going to swap nozzles
Yep. Okay.
and do the bullets.
Do the bullets.
The other day, where we at here?
So you can just look at the graph. This is what blows me away. You can look at the graph and know that with the headers, we have 2-inch headers on it right now. But if we went to the 1.5 inch, or what is it, 1 7/8 to 2 inch, then we could potentially, it'll clean up this whole line here. It does it with all of them? Huh?
Yes.
I'll give away all the secrets.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was kind of. That's why I'm like.
So see that? That's the one we ran with Turczynski that Scott built.
Okay. That one yesterday or
See this?
Monday?
Yeah, Monday.
Yeah.
That was our last run.
Huh.
That had ups and downs, but that had a Type 53 Jones hit on it.
All right, it's lunchtime down here. We've been making pretty good progress. This thing started out 775, and we're up to 826 to the rear tires. And we still have a different set of headers. So this is 1 7/8 to 2 inch. It's different combination. The other ones on the car are 2 inch all the way back. So Tim thinks these are gonna make more power. And when we put some bullet tips in this thing, it's gonna hit. I have a good feeling. We're hoping for 850. That's what I'm hoping for. We made it back from lunch. We're gonna try the different set of headers. but I was just kind of curious. Look how pretty those are. All right, so we changed the header and we put the bullet nozzles in, which is gonna shoot a straight stream into the motor, and it won't throttle as well, but those are basically what everybody runs to qualify. So this should give us our big number. We're hoping.
It must not be normal 283 yet. They always like bullets. This is headers probably.
Yeah.
All right, let's fatten it up some more and just see if it's not got enough fuel in it. But I can't believe that I had to go too much more.
Well, it did not make more power with the bullets. It made less power with the bullets. So now it's back to the drawing board. We were hoping, you know, we were at like 825 horsepower with the screens. We put bullets in it. It's only making like 809. It makes more bottom end, but I don't want to lose 15 on the top. So we're going to try something different. All right, so we had these blanks in, and they were in the top here, okay? So we just changed the nozzles. We got ups and downs. We're gonna see how that runs. And it's nice when you come here to Tim's because he's got all this stuff for us to try. Then if it actually works, then we could buy it and pay for it.
Best one was probably get rid of the red. Well, wait a minute. Let's get on power.
That blue one on the top was our best.
Yes, that was with the 620s.
Yeah.
Okay. So the red one was the other better one, and that was 590 bullets. Now then. Very last one is the dark blue one. You see the red one's under it almost everywhere, but that number right
that
there.
Big power number, yeah.
See that? But it's under it all through here. So we're going to get rid of the red one. Now then, the green one, the only place it's better is probably right there. See how it's a little better there, but see how it's not as good here?
Yeah.
Okay, now then let's go back here to torque. And the green one, see how it's under here?
Yeah. Yep.
It's under it there.
So it seemed to like that ups and downs.
It does. It does. I think what we really need to do is the bright blue one was the other headers.
Yep.
But we're better than it. You might as well say all the way up to here, pretty much to right there.
Yep.
Only place we're not better is right there. So now then, let's tweak our main, look at it on torque, see whether or not we get better than that number.
Yep.
We're a 66, let's go to a 68.
Okay.
Let's see what that does. If that helps beat torque, great. We'll go again. If not, we'll go back.
Depending on what package you have, what heads, what headers, what everything makes a difference. And knowing what your car does is impossible unless you take it to the dyno and compare different runs with different things you've done to it. So quick little story about this motor here. Don built this last year. He called it the swap meet motor. He built this thing for like, we're gonna call it $12,000. Bought a complete top end for like $3,500. He pieced this thing together. He found a crank, he found an old block, pieced the thing together. We dynoed it, it made like 825 and it blew up the first night. So basically we had to start over. Well, when he took the heads to one way, they said it was going to cost $7,000 to redo the heads that were on the motor. So he went ahead and bought new heads. To do the new heads, it was like $12,000. He said ultimately it was another 20 grand after we blew it up last year. So he's got $32,000 into it the way it sits. And a friend of his built it, Craig Rutan, I believe. So far, it hasn't blown up on the dyno, so good job, Craig.
Right through here. The orange one here is our last one. Okay, it's kind of a wash through here, but it's better over here.
Yep.
We leaned it up there. Now look at our top end. We're better than we've been all day, I think.
Oh, that's what I like to hear.
Look here.
822.
So it likes being leaner on top there.
Yep.
So now then, I'm not going to go any leaner on the main because if you look at the torque again, you're going to see we only picked up 1 foot-pound.
Yep.
Okay, and that's probably that little spot right there. Okay, right there. But we're 584 versus 575. It don't look like a lot right there. But you see, that's almost 9 foot-pounds, 8.5 foot-pounds. So we don't want to give that up.
No.
But we don't want to go no leaner. But it definitely liked it on the top. So now,
Take a little bit out of the high speed.
we're going to take a little out of the high speed, exactly. So now then what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of where we were before we went to lunch and now. The last one being the gold one. Look how much we picked up right here.
Yeah.
20. That's big.
That's
20
big.
horsepower.
Right where your lows
where-
are.
That's going to be what you're going to feel in the car will be
Yeah.
5,500.
Yeah.
Okay, a lot of times that's going to be pulling off the bottom if you're rolling
Yeah.
the bottom.
The lows are typically
In the
55 to 65.
yeah, and then you see like right here, this is real. So there is 13. So it really responded there.
Yep.
The headers did a lot of this right here. See there?
Yeah.
That's almost 18. Here's more than 20. Look at there. That's
Yeah.
28. 29.
And
So-
that's initial, like they drop the green, you go.
You bet.
That just
You bet. So now then, that makes me feel a lot better. So now we're just going to take a half out of high speed. We're going to see if we trim this up here
okay.
and see if we can get that top.
All right, so we just made our biggest horsepower number as like 826, and you know Don's got $35,000 into this, and 826 isn't horrible. You know, we're making progress. We still have a little bit of time left in the day, so. And he didn't spend $72,000 to have somebody build him a brand new motor. Now, if you bought a brand new $72,000 motor, it'd probably make 905 to 910 to the rear tires. We're only making 825, but you know, with only $35,000 invested into this, we got a fresh motor, it's got brand new heads, it's got steel rockers, it's got a lot of good stuff. It's got a Sonny Bryant crank in it, and you know, that leaves us some funding to get through the year instead of spending, you know, 72 grand. I'm gonna do some math and figure out, once we get done with how much power this thing actually makes, we're gonna do the math on what the extra, what is it, $35,000 will get you. Basically another 30 grand to make another 70 horsepower, which is necessary if you're going to Knoxville, if you're going to Eldora. We're not going to Knoxville. We're not going to Eldora. All right, so this is just playing with the high speed and the top end number. So Tim is gonna add a little bit of timing to it. We're gonna put a little degree of timing into it and see if we can't get the last run was this red one, and it's really nice everywhere, but right there, it's good all the way to here, and then the last little bit. So we're gonna see if we can't get that horsepower number up, because it's 20 horsepower from there to there.
This is our three best ones. Our last one being that guy right there. So it's better everywhere
but the very top.
There. Okay, now remember we still got that half a turn in there. Look how much it helped it here. 09 to 22, that's 13 horse.
Yeah.
About a wash down through here, but it's no worse. It's just a tiny bit better.
That was just changing a 1 degree of timing.
1 degree. So
you still hadn't taken the half turn out of the high speed?
No.
Okay, so take the half turn out and see if we can.
That's what I say. We take it out because we're 112 right now.
Yeah.
In this kind of air, that's hot.
Yeah.
So let's take the half out. Let's see if it picks that up.
What is the air? 2,800 feet still? So, depending how good the air is, that changes a lot of this too. So we're making progress, but the air's not amazing. It's 3,000 feet, and ideally it's 0.
That's 3,400.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, 90 ADR sucks.
yeah.
It feels humid as shit too.
There you go. 3,395.
Yeah.
And it's going to be right in that 3,400.
If the air was better, we would be making more power, but I'm pretty happy with how good this thing's running, especially after we started the day with the stumble valve backwards and it wouldn't run at all. That's good.
Definitely responds.
Up until you put the degree of timing in it, that half a turn only did 812.
Right.
Then you put the timing in it, but we were rich.
Timing.
And then once you brought it back to where they really wanted to be, we just did.
Look here, 673.
That's
So
pretty.
see, taking that out of it with the timing is where it's going.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd put any more timing in it. I'd race it a night or two.
Yeah, I don't. Like I said, I
3,400 feet. I'll go. Fucking feels like.
and it just made close to what we were hoping. Didn't think it was gonna get there,
Yeah.
but it just did.
Yeah. Faith in the boss. Tell you what, we don't give up, do we, Sammy?
I'm glad
we
you.
won't quit against there. I know that.
Well, that's good to hear, because I'm running out of steam, to be honest.
Oh shit, y'all do it every day.
I don't know how you do it every day. I'm gonna blame my run out of steam on driving here. Well, that was a pretty successful day at the dyno. It didn't start out the way we wanted, but we eventually got this thing figured out, ran through all of our problems. We ended up making 837 to the rear tires. It was like 675 torque, which is pretty impressive for, you know, our swap meet motor is what Don was calling it. He's got $35,000 into it. We're 75 horse off, but you know, we're still $35,000 cheaper than a big motor. Your Kistler, your Ryder, your Donna, your Speedway, your Shaver, those all make over 905, 910 to the rear wheels. I've seen it with my own two eyes. So we're 75, 80 horsepower off, but $35,000 cheaper. And I don't know if it's gonna be reliable. I hope it is. Dear racing gods, please let this be reliable for your boy T-Mez so I get to go race. A couple of years ago, we blew it up the first race and we were done for the year. So, hey, special thanks to Don Whitney for giving me his race car, his race trailer, and letting me come down here to Tim's and do what we do. Hey, thank you for watching. If you made it this far in the video, you're awesome. Maybe go check out, if you want to help, go check shoptmez.com out for some merch. And yeah, I think it's about time to get this thing off the dyno. Yet another dyno video. Today though, this one's long. I know it's long, but I just wanted to kind of show you the routine that we go through. It's typically the same. We're always making gains. We always have a lot of things we can do to make gains here at Tim's with all these at your disposal, and different nozzle sizes. And you know, ultimately Tim is one of the few guys in the industry who builds all of his own parts in-house, okay? From the midget motor to injection, tractor pull and tractor stuff, everything's built here in-house. So we have the means to make your ride fast. Hey, thanks again for watching. And this is why you come down here, because as you go to different tracks, the altitude changes. So in order to keep your motor happy, making that ultimate peak power you're wanting, you need to keep up with the air and with your tune. So that's why we come down here. Right, so I'm just rolling out of Tim's, and man, for $650 to take your car down there and have him tune and tweak on it and make it better, I don't think there's a better deal out there. Maybe it's $750. I thought she said $650. But man, we started out with an issue, and we just kept pulling it until we found our issue. And then once we got it right, I mean, we picked it up from the first pull it made was $775, and by the time we got done, we were at $837. So I mean, that's huge. We would have went to the racetrack making $775 the first time, and then so like boom, you go practice it. I'm like, okay, it's not very good, so let's lean it out. Let's look at the plugs and let's lean it out. So then you lean it out. Well, this thing was a little bit sensitive on the high speed, whether we were on a 68 or a 70 pill, really made a difference on the top end, whether we were at 110 or 105 pounds of high-speed pressure. It was a little bit temperamental, but got the thing to rip, and we are race ready now to show up to the track prepared. We actually put the body on it and pushed it outside. We put a set of 11 plugs in it, and because it had 10 plugs in it, and we pushed it off just to make sure we didn't break a plug or anything like that, because sometimes, you know, we got broken plugs. But so pumped about this. And if you made it this long in the video, thank you so much. Hopefully you're learning something. I'm learning every day. The kids are hungry though. I gotta get off here. I gotta find somewhere to eat. Got my belt on. Hey, if you wanna support the channel, go check out shoptmez.com, or I've kind of got this thing figured out, so you should be able to see my shirts right below the video. Hey, thanks for watching T-Mez TV. We got 4 nights of racing starting tomorrow, Thursday. Actually today, Thursday, when you see this video. Yeah, racing.